Racism, anti-Semitism, violence. I might be talking about the Nation of Islam. Ashley, you caught up with him. What do you got?
I spoke exclusively with Minister Abdul Hafeez Muhammad, who leads the Nation of Islam at the historic Mosque 7 in Harlem, and we talked about the heated presidential election. He is the voice for Minister Louis Farrakhan, based in New York City. The Nation of Islam wants to be clear that they do not support any form of terrorism. Minister Hafeez says there are radicals really in any organization.
There's radical Jews in Israel, there's radical Christians, there's radical Muslims. Look, a political construct must determine the enemy, and so they call the enemy radical Islam. But who brought us into slavery? Radical white Christians.
Minister Hafeez says when it comes to Trump, at least you know about his true colors, especially from his remarks about getting Muslims out of the country.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, we don't stand with his statements that he made. But Minister Farrakhan said in an interview he did with Alex Jones that America should vet those coming in that they know are upset with American foreign policy, because in the borders of America, 2,000 by 3,000, they could want to do some kind of damage because of what perceived or real has been done to them or their people.
Now, the last point I'd like to make is the Nation of Islam says they do not stand behind either candidate at this point. They say really neither one does anything for the black community.
Look, it would be good to have a nice woman president. She's very qualified. It would be good to have a businessman, because America is messed up business-wise. So, but since they both can't run together and running against each other, you gotta choose. Well, I don't like either one of them.
You know, a lot of times you hear people group people together based on faith, and he says you don't see that with other groups. When someone does something wrong and they're Christian, we don't call it radical Christianity. When someone does something wrong and they are Jewish, we don't call it, oh, he's a radical Jew. And he's just saying it's not fair to put that burden on them.
Individual radicalized people versus an entire culture that is set on attacking Western civilization, totally different issue.
With all due respect, you don't see Christians as suicide bombers.